Yeah, that's I couldn't give that my attention anymore, and so I decided to be a different place for attention to go. Welcome back.
I give my life to the Lord. And immediately, that fear and anxiety and anger just melts away instantly. There was an altar call, right? I went up and said the prayer to make Jesus my Lord and Savior. And I thought that I was going to float away. I really did.
Time to wake up.
Then there's the Kali Yuga, the shortest of the 4 yugas, 1/4 the length of Sat Yuga. People live to be about 100 years in the Kali Yuga. It's 75% non-bliss, 25% bliss, and it can even go down to almost 0. And the Kali Yuga lasts 432,000 years. And we're 5,000 years into it right now.
Geez.
Yeah.
I thought we might see it out.
So, it's a tough time. It's a time of suffering.
So every atom has a small ounce of consciousness, a small amount of feeling, or small amount of awareness. Even a quark and an atom have an interior apprehension. So each of them have a first person, and they are themselves third person it's with a first person prehension. And naturally atoms come together. They come together to form molecules. So they have their senses of prehension are drawn together. And so a molecule is a plural of an atom. And so the atom's individual I prehensions are interwoven in a big molecular we. So that started to draw
intercommunicative entities here. The only body that is capable of establishing a spiritual authority over that global swarm is the body of Christ, is the church, and that's that's going to be something that I think Americans are going to have to kind of learn to look at the situation a little bit differently in order for that to really sink in. But that seems to me to be not just the best path, but really, for us, the only path.
I have a slight correction to make. Pete Kayfabe says such a wise elderly lady that Ken Wilson is, but it's not Ken Wilson. As you can see on the screen here, this wise elderly lady is Ken Wilber. Anytime you hear integral theory, put this goes in your mind. Integral theory equals this.
draw the framework into a truly reality representing framework. So we have the 4 quadrants. Upper quadrants are individual, lower quadrants are collective or plural, and each of those has a left-hand quadrant, an interior, and a right-hand quadrant, an exterior. Now, if you look at those, that means each one of those has a different type of epistemology and therefore a different type of ontology. So the epistemology for the upper left eye, we call that introspection. And it's a form of knowledge where we look within, we introspect, and we report what we see. We report all the objects we see in our subject.
Well, I don't think it should lead to resignation or inaction. I think it's more so just not closing off possibilities of discovering new aspects of things.
Well, of course,
Uh,
science would do that. Science is looking for what's going on, so I don't know why they would not want to pursue it.
I think the problem, I'm trying to make a more practical example, is like something like the case of COVID is like the problem is if you think there's a problem and there's a disease and you don't understand it fully, or you put faith that something is worse than it is, and then you go to enact a cure, and then a lot of times the remedies can be a lot worse than the problem you're even trying to fix, because like a lot of those things you just don't know the fact of. So like even with heart disease, something like that, for example,
This is a message for
you can
Basketball
watch and observe.
Man Clay. I saw you had on your show this morning the horrible things that man said about the kayfabe. And I just want you to know that I'm going to destroy you in the April Fool's conversation cage match.
The frog is a harbinger of dangerous times, because
I would not recommend DMT. I would recommend acid and mushrooms, not DMT really though. I just can't find the purpose in DMT. Like it was so, maybe I didn't take enough, but it's just so potent. And you see, it's so hard to tell though. Like, was it just me? Was it the dose that I took? Like there are too many contributing factors to really say anything for sure on the matter. But I can say this for sure on the matter is that my experience with it was utterly confusing, disorienting, and incoherent. It was profound and shocking, awesome and terrifying and painful and mysterious as well. But
welcome, everybody. This is the reprieve stream. You can see it here on the thumbnail. We stopped streaming for having a really good time, to go get subjected to something that was not very, very good time. And so we're getting a reprieve from that here in this floating around stream, where I've been floating around. As you can see, I'm randomly playing things from my YouTube home screen, sometimes jumping to the 33rd minute. And I just wanted to comment here to stop the comment to say, Baxter, your thumbnail is way too busy. That is way too busy of a thumbnail, and as such, I refuse to click on it. So now they get this instead.
Hi, this is Paul. A number of you wanted me to do some.
Hope you fix your volume, Paul.
This is exactly how he's been. And all of, so often I hear things, he's a grifter. I don't get that sense from this man. He is telling you exactly what he thinks. Yeah, you might not like it, or you might love it, or you might quibble with it. It doesn't matter. He's telling you exactly what he thinks and what he's always thought.
And I don't know how to understand, was that she told me about 3 months before she recovered that she believed that she would be well by our anniversary. And that's exactly what happened. And so that's, the fact that she survived was very unlikely. But, unlikely things happen. But the fact that she survived and she predicted when she was going to recover, that's a harder thing to wave away.
My point in
and front lines of a particular kind of battle. And it's not an information war, it's a spiritual war. And it is comprised of information and all sorts of images and ideas and ideologies, and it's people with different ideas on many sides, but it's people. And so we're in a war of.
Yeah, it's the people, and they're floating at a different buoyancy using our alignment, attitude, orientation, gyroscopes, and then they can flip black or white like an Othello board.
Spirits, the aggregors are battling. Grim Grizz talked about fifth generation warfare. That's one way of looking at it. But then another level to that, if you want to win the fifth generation war, or use fifth generation warfare to win this war, it's going to be a war of hearts. It's a spiritual battle. So, what is the corner doing? It is, I think, it is equipping each of us, if we desire, if we so choose, it is equipping us with ways to love.
out. It wasn't like it wasn't so metaphorically perfect as like being right up against the gutter or anything like that. But like it rolled right across the street, and I literally had to dodge traffic, and I scoop it up and I put it back on, and got it. I got it, and yeah,
dude, that's
and
oh
and
my gosh.
You talked about Kierkegaard, like reading him. People read him when they're sad, you know, and
that's my secret.
Because I love
always
being
sad.
I love being this contrarian. Like I'm different than everybody else, and I'm like, ah, shit. I also read him while I'm sad. It's like,
yeah.
That's what. So it was, because during, let's say, my dark night of the soul, midlife crisis, whatever you want to call it. Like I was.
One thing is true. One thing is a great change of our psychological. A great change is in our psychological attitude. Because we need more. We need more psychology. We need more understanding of human nature. Because we need more. We need more psychology. We need more understanding of human nature. Because the only real danger that exists is man himself.
And whoosh, and whoosh.
What's going on, guys? We're floating around. I have now for you a red church card of the show. Red church card of the show. Here we go. And then I don't know. Something. Oh, the 3 of spades. The 3 of spades for that one. Let's get the blue deck ready.
Journaling like crazy. And so I went back to my notes, and that's what I sent you. And so I read, I was devouring Peterson's reading list at the time. And I read the Denial of Death by Ernest Becker. And Peterson has
I only clicked on that reading list once to make myself feel good about all the ones I had read.
You're a purist, man. Like you came to this stuff through pure roads other than the Peterson pipeline, which is, I find,
a little bit
very admirable. Yeah.
Well, I came to Peterson with a lot of opinions about the things he was talking about. So, but yeah, sorry, that interrupted.
Well, I'm struck because there seems to be a linearity to what you're describing. Would you say that's true?
Not linear so much as cyclic.
Mm-hmm.
I think it works in cycles, and the cycles are embedded in cycles, but that's just my scientific background in posing frequency on energy, because E equals hc over lambda.
Well,
express that with your heart, like your deep heart, your spirit being, and that expression, so heartfelt, it's so intimate, it's so out there, you know, nobody can take that away from you, and you can really just really just expand it, just go somewhere else, and just go to God and just really profoundly connect. It's truly amazing. It's
There is no agency. We want what's best.
+4 if you count it. Yes, the music. I didn't even do savings throws for this. That's okay. There's no mind control. This is water. It might be causing me to dissociate. I think I'm going to go dissociate for a while. I'll be back Monday. I hope you guys have a lovely weekend.
You're crushing me, people. You're crushing me. I'm big, but I'm not that big.